Now, I will be brief, but if I may, Madam Chair, I would like to thank everyone for turning up to speak in this debate. The member for Putney spoke incredibly passionately about her experience working with Somali women, as well as her own experience with water aid in the UK. It's incredibly useful working with her on the PSVI APPG, and I thank her for her support, for my support for an international panel and a body, and I look forward to working together on many other issues around this matter. The member for Wakefield was kind enough to inform the House of his experience around the world and to talk about the moving impact that he has had working with different communities from across the world, and I think the House is better for it from having his experience, and I know that the chair of the APPG for Foreign Affairs is very lucky to have him as well. The member for Congleton spoke incredibly passionately, if I may say so, and shifted rightly so the focus of this debate to outside of conflict zones and into an area that also needs important address and resolve. And to talk about the justice system in the way that she did was a stark reminder of the lack of justice that is seen by so many people across the world. And of course, the member for Bradford West also spoke about the need for justice, not just in specific geographical areas, but across the world. And of course, raising the important matter of women in Kashmir. And I think that was something that was massively valued, especially by myself. The member for Midlothian has always been suspiciously kind to me on a whole host of issues, and I am particularly grateful for his support. From the day that I gave my maiden speech on this issue, he is right to talk about issues like the Istanbul Convention and that leadership is more important than ever, and for having a global and local vision. This is not an issue in which the UK can sit on a high horse. Domestic abuse happens within our shores, and we have seen how prevalent it has been during the lockdown. The member for Cardiff North has also been extremely kind and direct about what needs to be done, and that so often or not, UK aid is seen as the first and last hope. That is something that is incredibly powerful, and I think we are all very conscious of the fact that UK aid stamped onto humanitarian packages and onto the backpacks of people that we send across the world to help is one that is greeted with relief and understanding that the international community is engaged in that, and that anything that damages that is a particularly worrying point. I thank the Minister for his comments. Change doesn't take decades, but by my count, it's taking 8 years. This is when we launched the initiative on PSVI, and I think the UK can go further. So I just want to say a few words about what I have done on this. When I was elected, I wrote to every single country, or the ambassador of every single country, who signed the UK's resolution in the UN on PSVI. Now, down to the 90 responses out of 146 that I have had, nearly every single one of those letters is still waiting for the UK to show leadership on this issue. That is 90 countries who have bothered to respond on this issue, good and bad in some cases, but who are asking the UK to continue their leadership on this. If we don't, then we must be prepared to help others lead. And that is either Germany or it is the United States. I hope that we can find the resolve and the determination to do it here and to do it now, and to do it with the opportunity of the G7 presidency next year. Germany and the US are working very hard on this, and if they do lead on it, then I'll be very happy with others to go and support them. I passionately believe that the UK has a role to play on the international stage. Yes, in defence, but more importantly, in international development. And this is a core tenet of international development. And so I hope that the Minister will go back to the Foreign Office and to speak to the Foreign Secretary and to others to know that there is not only a strong group of members of Parliament who wish to see action on this issue, but that we will be continuing to raise it at any opportunity that we are given. Thank you.